Welcome, guys, to Dummy Football Podcast, the second episode where we'll be going over all the groups individually and all the games that have been played already. So far, I believe it's I believe it's group
G and H that haven't played
yeah,
the second
G and
game.
H that haven't played their second games. Group F just played their games today, and Group E as well. So we'll be going all the and our predictions, how we look so far, and talking about the how the big teams measure up so far in the World Cup. Um, Jordan, how are you been doing this day?
I'm doing really good. I'm kind of sick, but this World Cup has been helping me go through that sickness.
Yeah. Pedro, how about you?
I'm junior to you. Yeah, some games have been exciting. Some games are absolute bore. But that's how it was gonna be. Having
Yeah.
coming out of like their leagues and then coming into this, there's no really like kind of I don't know at least mental preparedness to like get ready for those games and kind of be kind of fresh. But I don't know if that affected them. But
Yeah.
yeah, some exciting games and then some really bad games.
Yeah, I feel like as the tournament progresses, teams are going to be finding the rhythm, and the games are going to be improving, and the teams collectively as well. So yeah, let's get right into it. Group A, Netherlands, Ecuador, Senegal, and Qatar. Netherlands top of the group, uh, just just hanging in there with Ecuador, equal on points on and on goal difference as well. Senegal third with 3 points, and Qatar obviously numerically eliminated from the World Cup already. Um, so far, from what I've seen this far, Netherlands has been, you know, just close, doing what it has to do to win those games. Uh, being defensively solid. Trying to attack and hold out for those wins. Ecuador has been really a surprise one this in this tournament. That draw against Netherlands, I think they should have won because that second half was complete Ecuador, and Netherlands was just lucky that Ecuador didn't find the second goal for that game. Um, Senegal, I think I think Sadio Mane made a big difference in that team. With or without him. Um, I mean, they're just 1 point behind Ecuador and Netherlands, and I think if they had that man up top with Sadio Mane, I think this would have been a different Senegal team. And Qatar just been really lackluster. Hasn't been the same team that we've seen in that Gold Cup tournament. But so far, pretty entertaining games coming from the Group A. Pedro, what do you think about this?
Well, the same as you. No different. You just expected more of the host nation because it's usually like
Yeah, I had him.
really
I had
close.
him. I had him getting out of the group stage.
Yeah, I was surprised when you said. I was like, I don't know about this. I mean, Ecuador is kind of surprising. As I had Senegal coming in, I just feel like it hasn't hit them yet that they don't have Sadio Mane. You know what I mean? Like they're like we don't have Sadio. Like we're based around Sadio Mane. Now they
Hmm.
don't have him. Now everybody has to step up to fill that gap
Yeah,
that he left. And then like Netherlands, I still think, like you said, they're just getting that 1% more than the other team to get by, even though they it was 2-0, I think, against Ecuador. That got that Frankie De Jong put Cody Gakpo. That was beautiful football right there. And it was kind of like in and out of actually yeah trying something good and exciting from that team. Like I said, once they face other bigger teams or better developed like tactically, they're not gonna have a good time.
yeah, yeah. Jordan, what do you think about this? The Senegal and Ecuador teams.
Well, the first game was Netherlands dominated Qatar, and Senegal and Ecuador. Oh no, Ecuador dominated Qatar, and Senegal got demolished by Netherlands 2-0. But if you watch the game, nah, Senegal were never in the game. Netherlands just scored those quick goals and tried to keep a clean sheet. And then in
Mm.
the second game, Netherlands kind of tried to play down Ecuador, and they kind of after those two goals, they were like, "Oh, we won this game." But Ecuador, at the end of the first half, they started getting more attacking chances, and I think that gave them the confidence going into the second half. And then Ecuador scores those two goals, took their chances. I think if they had another striker up there, maybe helping in Valencia, they could have scored more. I should have probably won that game because they got that goal disallowed before they went into the first half. And then Qatar against Senegal, the number 9 for Senegal. I don't know his name right now. I can't remember his name. I don't want to mispronounce it. But he scored a goal that they needed, which was a mistake of the defender from Qatar,
Mm.
and that goal gave them the shot. They opened the floodgates for them to take more chances, and they ended up scoring another goal. And I think they won 2-0.
Three
But
three
I
one.
3-1. That's what it was. 3-1. My bad. Um, it's been a long week, but
Yeah.
Sar kind of came into his zone that game. He was kind of moving everywhere, and I think that could be a key for them. They are 1 point behind, so they could sneak out a win against Ecuador. So that might be the game to watch for this next upcoming week.
Yeah, I said that Senegal team just 1 point behind Ecuador and Senegal. They could still, if they beat Ecuador, they could still get in into the group stage. Um, but yeah, I think you guys had Senegal and Netherlands getting out of this group stage, and I had the Qatar and Netherlands getting out of the group. Um, do you still see your guys' predictions going anyway or changing, Pedro?
Yeah, I feel like what Jordan said. Like, yeah, Senegal is gonna like give Ecuador a good battle with those crucial points that they're gonna need. And I think Netherlands is not gonna, they're gonna bowl. There might be some changes because they I think they have some yellow cards with them, so they don't want to risk them.
Right.
But I think they both go through in different orders though. It'll be Netherlands and then Senegal. Who I didn't have. I thought Netherlands was gonna underperform, and they kind of have, but not enough to
No.
give them the altitude.
Yeah. Alrighty. On to Group B. England, Iran, USA, and Wales. Wales has been really, I mean, really disappointing. I think I expected more from, the senior names in that team to try to be up there with England and USA. I mean, England in first place with 4 points, Iran with third, USA with two, and Wales with one. Um, Mathematically, still in this competition, but I don't think against this England team that they have a chance to get in anywhere close. USA against an Iran team that has been a kind of surprise in this group that many people thought that they would be the ones at the bottom. And an England team that against that US team, I thought, man, were they lucky to get out of there with that draw. I thought USA really surprised me and were really going after England. England had possession, but they weren't doing much with the possession. They were just kind of doing it from side. Um, I think I still had England and USA getting another group. If USA play the same way that they played against England, I think they have a shot at going against Iran. But it's very unpredictable, as we've seen with the later on groups that we'll be talking about, the surprise that they've done so far in this tournament. But um, Jordan, thoughts on this on the Group B?
Iran is kind of a surprise to me because that although they did lose by a large margin against England, they did score 2 goals, and I think that kind of although it went through under everybody's eyes, including Wales, because they beat Wales. I think it might be a tough challenge against USA. USA got that win, got that draw. Although Tyler Adams might think it's a win, because we all saw that picture. huge point. It keeps us in contention. I say us because we are from the USA.
Right.
Um, this is still an open group. Everybody could get in, as you said. Wales, I think Wales always gives England a tough fight. So hopefully that might be a fun game to watch. But I think USA and England need to look at themselves at the mirror after that second game and say, what are we trying to do here? Because after the draw, they both seemed content with it, and I think going into a tournament like this, they need to try to fight for more. Although it is a big point.
Yeah, the Junior, I saw you shaking your head to what Jordan was saying.
Well, I wasn't shaking my head. I don't feel like they were content. I think that was all they could give. Like I said, the U.S. was more happy just because they knew what kind of talent the England has, and you see it, and the talent England has for them not for Harry Kane not to have a single goal yet.
Yeah.
Aren't they like they haven't scored yet, right? Other than I mean the
Harry Kane?
Harry Kane hasn't.
Yeah, Harry Kane hasn't scored.
no, but another yeah.
He has assisted though. He has been big contributing to the goals in that way.
So
But
yeah, so that I would just agree. I don't think they were content. They were just that's all they could give. Like I think the USA really locked them down. Like and you said, like they were lucky that the US don't have that, and I still think that that system having a in and out poacher type of striker that was in there, there was many chances where they would cross it in, and there was or they would like go forward with a counter, and there was no one up there that could even potentially hold up the ball for them. I feel like that's gonna now that this false nine kind of I think it's coming out of its way, and then we're gonna see another what's it called? Resurrection of that poacher number nine with Haaland, especially Manchester City being there.
yeah,
I feel like it's gonna make a comeback, so people are gonna be more looking forward to number
You
nine.
know what? I kind of, I didn't mean content, but I meant like there was a sign of relief from both of them
Oh
because
yeah,
they could have seen the game go either way.
oh yeah,
yeah, I
What I
agree with
wanted to
that.
say also about England is I think their game plan was, oh, USA like to pressure, let's just have the ball in the back and counterattack them. And USA countered that by not press them at all. So it just became a game where they just passed the ball in the behind, and they were
they're
like,
waiting
oh,
for
you
the
guys aren't
press.
pressuring us. And I think, although England still got chances, I think USA matched up perfectly there.
Yeah, it was it's kind of weird when when Berhalter made those changes. I don't know why McKennie came off the field. I thought he was having one of the best games against England. He was really good against holding Bellingham and Mount off Bay because just the energy he brings and that dynamic of box to box midfielder that McKennie brings. I thought it was very integral to the team. Um, Pulisic, I think, was very. This is the kind of Pulisic that we want to see at Chelsea. Very with the ball and trying to create
Oh,
chances for his teammates.
that's what you want to see at Chelsea?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Pulisic fan. I'm not a just because he's not in my team, I want to see him perform well for.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't want him to perform like that against Manchester City, do you?
I think it was kind of the first game was a Pulisic that we don't want to see because he was complaining about fouls. He just wanted it looked like he
Well,
wanted
they
to
were
play
fouling him
foul.
a lot. You got to say that game they were not protected. Like I know they always like, oh, like we get used to get fouled so much harder. That's like, what is that? What's that have to do with anything? Like, oh, we
And I
used to
felt that kind of took him out of the game though,
yeah,
because
he
he
gets
was getting fouled a
argued.
lot. And I think this in second game he came in and he had a better game, although might not have scored or might not have had like a oh my god he took on all the defenders. He still contributed a lot in the attacking third.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
did.
like if they had that striker, I still think that formation is not working for us.
Yeah,
If and then just when I saw the lineup, I was like, I wonder like how this is gonna work. I
yeah,
mean, it looks good on paper, but then you have to like, how is it gonna work on the field?
right.
Because I think they should have Joe Scaly. I think they would have been more physical, and then not having Kellen Acosta to kind of. I mean, I don't know if he wanted a close game, but he also like he will go forward. Like him being back will let what's his name Tyler Adams attack even more,
Right.
let him go forward as well as McKennie. So having kind of close to
Yeah,
that. Would have
You
been
just you just kind of wonder what uh,
yeah, the
uh
what ifs, like what if this, because it's like I said, it's too pragmatic. Like the same with Southgate. He was pragmatic. They're both
yeah
pretty pragmatic, and it's funny that they both play together.
yeah
So
yeah, and
that
I
would have
know
been
a lot of people, a lot of English fans and Twitter were on about that. Why were they so pragmatic against this U.S. team? Where you expect England to be on the front foot. You expect USA to be the team that's trying to catch them at the break. Um, but yes, I think all of us had England and USA getting out of the group. Um, if I
I
remember correctly, who'd you have?
before I say that, I just wanted to say we all want Gio Reyna to start. I think it's very clear,
Oh yeah,
and I think that
not just
was a
that.
big mistake by Berhalter.
I want to see all the talented players on the field. Like I know it seems crazy, but that's what I want. I want Brendan Aronson to start. I want Gio Reyna to start. I want like
Yeah, that's
Timothy
all I
Weah
wanted to say
surprised me
because
because
I think that was a big
had a
thing.
bad game. Shit, you still have to play this game, my boy.
yeah,
Yeah, it was just a big issue in the first game that he didn't bring him in. But I think this sub that he did, although the Winston McKinney one was a bad sub, I think they contributed to get the draw. We should. I don't know. It could have gone either way that game, but I had USA going in first, which could technically still happen, and I had Wales in second, which could still happen, but they would have to beat England by a large margin. So I'm not sticking with this. I'm going to with USA and England because Wales really let me down. It might be because I'm an Aaron Ramsey fanboy, but yeah, I don't know.
Junior, what are your thoughts about the Group B?
Well, also like I mean, we've been talking about how like the what's it called? Underwhelming the USA has been, but and we also got to talk about how underwhelming England has been, especially against that game. I mean, still Foden not coming in for
Yeah,
both games, and how fundamental he is to Manchester City. Not necessarily like, you know, this is why they're winning titles, but in that team, he's pretty special in that team.
yeah, he
I
is.
would take him over Grealish, and he's gonna take on this and that player, but he's underperforming. I don't know why him being so skillful matters to me when I'm like, all right, can you make a good pass for once? Like, can you actually like see who else is around you? Can you actually do something for the team instead of trying to like just take one on one? Especially when speed is all he has, and that and close counter kind of dribbling. But when you have a good defender and someone that knows him, like knows these type of players, they're actually they're gonna be more not actually going foot first and trying to like wait for what they're gonna do. I
Right.
feel like that's been one of his biggest mistakes, not having Phil Foden in, and he's still sticking to his old guard of players. The same with Bernhalter, like sticking with those guys.
Yeah.
Like yeah, Walker Sigurdsson is great for the MLS, but I want to see Cameron Carter Vickers. Like wasn't he playing still?
Yeah.
Like I said, like he being so physical against England, I think we might have like I mean now like in retrospective it's kind of like who cares, but
Yeah.
I think the game would have gone the U.S. side if that was on their side. Physicality of those two players that I had mentioned before.
And I think this the what you just said goes out to like most of these national teams. Where they're sticking to the people that they prefer and stuff like that. And this is just my view. You guys might disagree, but I feel like when you're the national team, it's different than club football. You have to make the team based on the players that are performing, are in form, and are playing well for you. And then from there you decide, okay, these are the players that are performing, are in form, are doing good for the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what I can do with them. That's just my
Oh yeah,
take on the
when's the
thing.
last time Harry Kane has scored?
And that's what I mean. We're like that's why
Exactly.
that's why teams are like performing. I mean, managers are preferring their players that have been with them for a while, and they just prefer them over other players. But um,
But still, like Marcus Rashford, as soon as he came in, you saw the difference. I was like, he should be starting. I'm not a big, Marcus Rashford fan or Manchester United fan, but like when he came in, I was like, you saw the difference, how more dynamic the team was.
yeah,
I was like, if he would have been there from the start, this would have, like you said, like it could have gone another way. I think that England would have won if he was Now you add that to Phil Foden, add that to and he loves Mason Mount. I mean, I love Mason Mount too, but that was a terrible game from him.
Yeah,
The last two games, now he's not been there.
yeah,
So I mean, it's a shame to say, but he hasn't been there.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's your prediction?
Still England and USA. Well,
England is
no, could they still make it if England lose or tie?
Yeah, I think they can.
USA.
Because I think no England. Because I think Wales is actually gonna get a point from England. Anytime Wales plays against England, it's a tough match.
Well, Wales would have to beat them,
Score
but
seven.
beat score 5 goals.
Yeah, could happen.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, no, I just want them to lose. I want them out of there too.
yeah,
I never forgot what happened.
I think this is just an English team when they go up to like the bigger hitting teams that they're gonna be a little disappointed just because of the way they perform. But I don't know. Yeah, it could happen where the Arrows as well, where they're just happen to be very good defensively and they make it to the final. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, going on to the Group C, Poland, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico. I mean, there's only one thing to talk about, right? The Saudi Arabia defeat against Argentina. I mean, it was surprising. It honestly, tip my hats off to that Saudi Arabian team because sticking to their plan. They pressured Argentina, try to make them uncomfortable, and you just seen it from the first minute that Saudi Arabia didn't let
Yep.
Argentina get in the groove of things in that match and just kept them really at bay. Um, that second goal from the Saudi Arabian was just an absolute banger. I, I had Emiliano Martinez as the Golden Glove winner, but I was like, oh my god, that was surprising. Argentina obviously defeated Mexico in their second game, and they're 1 point behind Poland, um, who defeated the Saudi Arabians and got a draw of Mexico. Um, Pretty much everything's pretty close. 4 points for Argentina, three for Argentina and Saudi Arabia, and 1 point for Mexico. Pretty close game. Everything's going to be decided in that final game. Um, Pedro, what are your thoughts of this uh, Group C? And do you still think that Argentina could win the World Cup?
What was the first question? Argentina winning the World Cup? Yeah, I still think. I think, but the first game it was kind of like uh, it's not like they. I think they a little bit of like you very like that old quote that they said like we won the game before we even got out of the bus
Yeah,
type of like they felt like oh yeah Saudi Arabia I feel like they weren't very versed of what Saudi Arabia could do to them because you thought in the first half like as much as we are like oh now looking back it's like yeah look Saudi Arabia beat Argentina but that first half like Argentina was in it like you have to remind that we had I think two offside goals in the first like 30 minutes three
yeah,
in the first 30 minutes. So if those game in, we're gonna be talking about Argentina clear favorites. Cause you know what I mean? Because after that, you get 4 goals in an opponent that shatters you.
hmm
So I feel like we're now in retrospective, but that's why I still say they're favorites. And Mexico has been disappointing,
yeah,
obviously. What I predicted, just another pragmatic manager that doesn't want to change it up, who has actually in form, who's actually playing good, who's actually could help this team instead of like, oh well, this team is doing this. Like that's fine if in the game, but first I gotta put in my best players. This is my best players, and if that's not working, that's when you make your changes. But if you're just like already like playing to the team, they're
yeah,
you're already in the like an uphill battle to me.
yeah, yeah. A lot of it been said about probably Mexico's best midfielder, Edson Alvarez, not playing in that lineup. Had been kept up. We've talked about Santi Jimenez. I don't know why he hasn't been picked for this Mexico team. He's been absolutely crushing it in Feyenoord. Um, it looked for that Argentina game. It just looked like it was Irving Lozano against the world. They were just trying to give him off and just have him beat all five defenders of Argentina and try to create something. But I mean, I don't know if they think they have the Mexican Messi on their side or something, but you know
Yeah,
we've
not
it.
also adding to that is you have a guy who's way out of his prime with an Andres Guardado, and yeah, he could bring you something, but for a full game, I don't think he's gonna bring you, or at least what you're gonna give him 70 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't think that was a good idea by him, unless he was that was his whole plan. I was like, oh, like let me just give him like 70 minutes and then kind of like kill time at the end of the minute, like get that win, like
yeah,
hoping that Chucky was somehow gonna do another Argentina and just score that one goal and then hold back in that one goal.
hmm
That's kind of like wishful thinking by him.
yeah. Real pragmatic. And obviously we'll talk about Ochoa's save against Poland that kept them in that game. I mean, yeah, he did a great save, but I still think that Acevedo should have been in this team and probably been starting over Ochoa. I know Ochoa has done a lot for Mexico, but I as of right now, I still think Acevedo's the best Mexican goalkeeper
But
we
like
have
you
right now.
said, like you have those players that turn up, and Memo surely turns up for the
Yeah,
like
this
like for the World
every
Cup.
every World
It's
Cup.
like that's only where I watch him, really.
Yeah, yeah, it's just one of those players that just
Yeah, so I mean I still would have taken Ochoa. That's how much it means. I think who would have taken? I mean maybe who was it Alba Talavera
Talavera.
and
Obvious. I'm taking Talavera. I'm sorry, Talavera.
But it's Talavera and who?
It's Talavera, Ochoa,
And
and
Cota.
I think it's Cota.
I mean I mean I mean take your pick really from those two. But Ochoa I think for sure had to be in there. And I know they're not gonna take Corona, and I mean I know he has been like outstanding either, so I understand that.
Yeah, trying to
But
look.
again, that formation. As soon as I saw, it, like this guy
Yeah, yeah.
five in the back
Cota,
versus
Talavera, and
midfield.
Ochoa are the goalkeepers for Mexico. Just wanted to give you an answer on that.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then not having Edson Alvarez. I, I, I mean, to me, Edson Alvarez and Enrique Gutierrez playing in that mid, and
Yeah,
then having someone that could. I feel like Alexis Vega behind them would have worked for me, and then have either Raúl Jiménez or Funes Mori in front of him, and then Chucky and I don't know if Antuna could play by the left, but I don't know somebody that could actually do a counterattack, a good counterattack, and leave them just hanging by himself.
yeah,
Same with the U.S. Like when they were like if your whole plan is to counterattack, you would expect the people to know that. But it seemed like only Chucky knew this, or what?
yeah, yeah. And actually, Antuna would had a couple of chances, I believe, when he came on, that he were really causing danger off the right. But yeah, it just seemed like for most of the game, what Antuna was left off. I mean, Lozano was off by himself. Um, Jordan, your thoughts on this Polish team? It's top of the group as of right now.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the whole group. I guess I'll just talk about Poland. Poland and Mexico, an interesting game because if that penalty if they score that penalty, which people are saying, oh, Ochoa, an amazing save, I think Lewandowski just had a bad placement, not enough power on that, and it's not his fault, but it happens in football sometimes. You saw Alfonso Davies also had a miss, but that game helped Mexico a lot. And I thought they were gonna launch from that game and go against Argentina and just attack them straight on, but they didn't. They decided to let's go for the draw. And I don't know who it was. I think it was Bleacher Report posted where if you go for a draw, you're gonna lose. You gotta go with the mentality we're gonna win, and then hope for the draw.
Hmm
So Poland smashed Saudi Arabia. Lewandowski finally, congrats, got his first goal. An amazing player. But Zelensky also scored a goal, which was a big deal for him. I know having a good season with Napoli, that's a big goal for him.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia after the Argentina game, after they got the Cadillac supposedly from Saudi Arabian people, I think they mission complete. We're done. But they still had a pretty good game against Poland. Still had chances. Argentina, I think they needed that so-called game against Saudi Arabia. I think they needed a good beating because they were riding a high, and I think this put them down. So now they have to build themselves back up, and I think they did that perfectly against Mexico. The changes Scaloni made helped instantly. I don't know if you've ever seen managers that happen where they helped like that, but that was an amazing game, an amazing atmosphere.
Yeah.
Mexico, you always feel like they have so much talent. I just feel like the manager is always the problem. Ochoa, although there has been better goalkeepers in the past, they always stick with him, and I think it's detrimental at some part, but another part, he's our only guy there. Like Guardado again, he should have been brought off the bench to give him that last farewell against Argentina, and he gets injured, which is bad news. Hopefully, he's fit for the next game. But it's still a very interesting group. They're all still in it. I think I would change my picks, and instead of having Argentina and Mexico go through, but have Poland and Argentina go through.
Wow. So you think Mexico get eliminated from the group stage?
I just feel Mexico are going to have to play a tough game against Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, who I don't know if you guys know this, but they're pretty fast on the counterattacks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and also like I think like the scoreboards don't favor them. Like Argentina has to like whoop fucking Poland, and I don't know if Poland is gonna let themselves like down for Argentina just because they also want to get through.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I mean I'm still taking with with my heart wanting Mexico to go through, but yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be really hard for
Mexico
Mexico.
would have to beat Saudi Arabia by three
They have to
goals.
beat them, yeah, regardless.
They would have to beat him by 3 goals to better 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 Poland on the goal difference.
Which could happen. I'm still rooting for them, but just looking at that, you have to score 3 goals. Poland, Argentina have both great goal scorers, Lewandowski and Messi. And that Fernandez goal was amazing, an
What a
amazing
fucking
angle
shot.
from that goal. I think it'll be an interesting last week of this group stage.
Yeah, which lives off to our next group, Group 3, where we already know who the group leader is going to be. And it's just between second, third, and fourth of that final spot for the group. France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia. Obviously, Benzema got injured. France didn't replace him. They're just going with the people they have are available. And Giroud stepping in for Benzema. And just, wow, this France team been really, really exciting, really, really dangerous, and offensively and defensively just been really good defensively with I think Shumeni filling that void for Kante, filling that energy in that midfielder. Um, really dangerous. Australia second in the group right as of right now. Um, that win against the wins giving them to that second place, and then Denmark and Tunisia drawing. You know, um, I still think France and Denmark are gonna get out of the group stage. Um, but what are your thoughts about this France team, Junior?
Yeah, like you said, they actually, I'm surprised that they actually kept that rhythm going from them being world champions and actually living up to it. We thought we were gonna see another champions curse, and that we're gonna, especially when we saw that Benzema he was out. I was like, ooh, and then in Cuckoo as well, having been out before, I was like, oh shit.
Obviously, yes.
But I
Yeah.
wanted to mention something else, and I just completely forgot. Frick. Uh, just pass it up to Jordan. When I remember, I'll chime in.
All right, Jordan, your thoughts on this group?
France, obviously, we all should have expected them, although there's a curse. they're obviously cursed to not win again, but they aren't cursed to get out of the group stage. So we got to remember that. The amazing team, you always expect them to be there. They're one of those top teams who have a top World Cup history. Denmark, shocking to tie against Tunisia. I think Denmark should do more with the type of players they have and young players they have that are turning into like transfer worthy players where they are going to get big transfers. Hopefully, Denmark still go through because I had picked France and Denmark, but Tunisia and Australia have been very impressive during these games.
Yeah, they definitely have been. Pedro, do you remember what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I just wanted to make fun of Manchester United forward Anthony Martial when you said like, oh, they didn't call anybody. I was like, he's still not good enough to make it to the France team. Just that, I just wanted to clown on Manchester United.
That's not messed up.
Dummy. Um,
I mean, it kind of is. I'm like, you need a player. Like, why not call somebody up? I mean, even if you're not gonna. Well, I guess
Well,
if
they
he's
have
like
the
you're
top
gonna use
scorer, Giroud, there. They have him.
true.
Who else do you need?
I know, but just in case, they did lose the other striker in Kuku because they have him as a forward.
yeah,
So having two down and you didn't get anybody, you should have called somebody.
yeah.
I thought that was funny. I was just remembering that.
So who did you pick to come out of the group?
France and Denmark.
Oh, we all picked the same on this one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had
Check out Strick.
I had Denmark stump. I had Denmark leaders and France second, but um, yeah, obviously, France been showing that you know their players on the team sheet match the quality on the field, and they've just been really smashing it.
Yep.
And that's the thing that Jordan says that we probably won't be winning it, but we know we'll be getting out. But I mean,
I mean,
who else do you
so
see that
I feel like
who
it
who
would
do you
still be
see that can stop this France team? You know, Mbappe, dangerous as always. Dembele probably having one of his best seasons with Barcelona and France, and it just who can stop this France team? That's the question.
Spain.
Which leads to our next group and
Let's
Group
each
E:
let's each name one team that could beat them, and let's see what happens.
Spain,
Well,
Japan, Costa Rica, and Germany. Uh, the we just today Japan Costa Rica played, and Costa Rica got that win from Japan, and Germany and Spain tying, which seemed like could go either way. Honestly, both teams were really attacking and having their chances. Um, Spain sit first with four points. Japan just behind them with third. Costa Rica as well with three, and Germany with 1 point. It looks it looks it looks from the looks of it that Germany could be out on an early elimination from the World Cup. They do have Costa Rica next, which hasn't shown much from from the first game against Spain, but got that last minute winner against Japan. Um, Spain Germany played. I think even though it was a draw, it was a really entertaining game. Really back and forth. Both teams showing that they wanted to win. Um, I think at the end maybe those young substitutions may have brought Spain's quality a little bit down from Luis Enrique, but Germany just showing their depth in their squad, being able to bring in Sane, Klosterman, Hoffman, and Folkroyd, the scorer for that last winner, which has been having a great season with Werder Bremen. Um, yeah, I still it's tough. It's tough for Germany, but I
you
still
have no
think
jersey on.
yeah, I still think Germany and Spain will get out of this group stage. Um, it's just really tough for Germany right now. Pedro, your thoughts on this group?
Well, I mean, I want to get more into like how how both of those teams need a striker. That was the big difference when I saw those games. I was like, they both need a striker.
Yeah,
Like if they had a striker, Musiala was very like by himself almost, and then trying to look forward, and then you would see Thomas Mueller coming in for the run late. They just had that one striker, and as soon as they did, they had that type of number 9. He got his chance and he slotted it in home.
Yeah.
And as Spain had that as well, like if they had and they
Morata
starting
for
Morata,
Spain.
I mean, I don't know if that Morata will do it for you because he had his chances and then he squandered them.
Well, he
That's
had the
always been
goal
his
too.
thing, but it's always been his thing that he doesn't like. He'll get like 7 and he'll get one in it.
Yeah.
That's not the type of productivity you want from your striker. Like
And
at least hit him on target. So I feel like if he changes the formation for Costa Rica, and it might not even like the way he's playing, it might work for Costa Rica, but you're gonna give him a tough chance.
and that's where you wonder if a player like Borja Iglesias or Iago Aspas would have benefited the Spain team. You know.
Even Sergio Ramos put him as a put him up top. See, already.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe a header. You know, last minute header as
That's
always.
so. That's so. When I see that team, I was like, that's the only one that I actually. I mean, Cesar Perico is known for headering. Not even what's the other Rodri, not for his headering.
And what have you thought about that Rodri experiment at center back?
I mean, you seen Luis Enrique experiment with those defensive midfielders, putting them as a striker. I mean, as a defender. You saw it with Sergio, and then you saw it with who's the other guy? I think he had put Mascherano back there as well, didn't he? And
I
then
thought
Arturo Vidal, I think, for a little bit.
I might.
He
I
always tries to put those players because they're so defensive minded and they know how to play with the ball. That's what he likes to do. And Rodri's good with the ball and he's good defensively. So I think that's what he wants to do. But I think it also hurts him in the midfield because you have someone slow like Busquets, and sometimes he can't give you 90. I still don't think he can give you 90.
yeah.
And if you have Rodri in there co- coming in, I know you want to be using him, but coming in them and then giving you that extra push for that if you need a goal. The other team is going to be tired as well. So
Yeah.
having them bringing him in, I think that could help a lot. But it's been working for them. I just don't. I just ideally that wouldn't be what I would want to do, especially when you have Pau Torres and Aspilicueta hasn't had a great season, but you have Aspilicueta and you have more you laughing, and you have that's Valencia player. What's his name?
Gaia.
No,
No,
the
Guillamon.
Guillermo.
Oh, yeah, Guillermo.
That's their profession. I don't know why you would want to try to do some experiments or not experiments. He works at him in training. It's not like we're like, oh, it's the first time he's ever, he works them out. It's just, and if it works
Right.
on the training and he wants to try it out and it's everybody's comfortable playing it, and you saw that they were, like we said, like as soon as like it gives you that different setup if you set it up differently and you bring them in instead of using them up there, or if you take out Busquets and then put another center back and push him up forward, that could also help. And also, I don't think a lot of the Spanish players have had a lot of good seasons. I look at that team and it's just like they're not necessarily like firing in all cylinders as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one. That's what I meant by one of the Balde coming on for Jordi Alba. It was his mistake, and from his side that came the goal from Germany. That Summit Leroy Sané gets the ball from him, is able to give in the pass to Musiala, and then Fulkrug gets the ball from him and just shoots from his side. But um, yeah, I mean Alberto Moreno, one of the I think is one of the standing left backs for uh, for Betis, and maybe even Fran Garcia that's been really outstanding with Rayo. I mean, against Real Madrid, his former team, he just caused us a lot of problems and gave in the cross that led to the goal for both goals. Um, you just wonder if players like that would have been available for Luis Enrique if they could been holding out. And you give a good point of Rodri coming in for Busquets. Maybe at toward the end of the game when you're just holding out that game, Rodri can give you that energy that you need in a midfielder to kind of get the ball, control it, and just close out, see out these games. Um, Jordan, you wanted to, you have anything to say about this group?
Yeah, I just wanted to here what points they have each
Yeah,
again?
so Spain,
Spain has 4, Japan has 3, Costa Rica has 3, and then Germany has 1.
yeah,
And the goal difference, Costa Rica is -6, and
yeah,
Germany -1.
yeah,
Germany
Japan
has a
0,
minus what?
-6. I mean, Costa Rica
Germany?
has no minus. Germany has -1.
Okay, so they could still go up, right?
yeah. I mean, they could still give, they could still maybe give Costa Rica a goleada and get through on that, but
But
uh,
they have to depend that Japan. I mean, Spain is gonna beat Japan.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jap- yeah,
What I wanted to say was, you know how you're saying Rodri playing as a center back. I think it would have made much more sense to play Busquets as a center back because he is taller and he is a more defensive player that could play that long ball. But he is slow. That's what that would take him out of there. But either way, you would rather him there and have Rodri pressuring up high so they don't get there. So it just leaves them. He's defending. He's helping his liability by being in front of him, sort of getting the ball like Claude Makaleli and passing it back to
Yeah, but
Busquets to distribute it.
I'd rather have
And
them.
what,
If you're gonna do that, have them both start, and then drop one of. I would say drop Pedri right now because he hasn't. It's not like he's off the foot running,
yeah,
but
but
I would have him.
you can't afford taking out Pedri because, as you said, he's their attacking. He's one of their attacking forwards. You have Morata who hasn't been, and you need Pedri up there to try to make some plays with Dani Olmo or Ferran Torres. So that's why I'm saying, wouldn't it make more sense to put him as a center back, or maybe, like you
Yeah,
said, put him, start him and then take him out? But it wouldn't make more sense to put him in for the last minutes of the game because he would come in fresh, and Rodri could have dominated the game already. And then you bring in Busquets, who's fantastic at getting out of the pressure and playing a pretty good long ball. So you could see how he could do it.
either or
They're
work.
still in it. They're still possibly going through, but Luis Enrique has a lot to think about after this game,
Yeah, like
especially at the striker position.
and you saw it against Germany as soon as they went to another powerhouse. The big teams. You saw how much they kind of struggled, and they were dominating for most of the game. If I remember, they were just. It's just that thing. It's like you have to do something when you have the ball and actually trying to get into your strikers. And I think it would have worked if he had Ferran Torres start in the middle instead of Marco Sancho, and then have
Yeah,
somebody on that wing. Because I know he's
and
not an out striker, but one of those, like I said, one of those 7 chances, like Morata, he's gonna get you at least one of them. And so you already had that coming for you. And if you need Morata later on, or Marco Asensio to
yeah,
come in and give you that speed that he could sometimes give you, or that final third pass that he could give you, I think.
and the Germany thing was interesting. In Fulkrug coming out of from the bench and scoring, that tells you that they do have their striker. They just don't play him for some reason. Because if he could come off the bench and score that quick, I think that tells you that the manager may be struggling to figure out who to put. Because he does have a loyalty with Bayern Munich, so he is more like, oh, let me put these players in. So you're trying to wonder what he's trying to do. Because also, it is his first World Cup. Luis Enrique's, it's second tournament, so
Well,
he's
he was
still
with
trying to figure it out.
Lowe. He was with Joachim Lowe as an assistant manager, so it's not
yeah,
like his
Yeah,
first.
but it's different than being the main guy
Yeah,
calling it.
no,
yeah. And I don't think Hansi Flick necessarily has his favorites in that national team with Bayern Munich.
he's a
'Cause
German after all.
but you did
It's
see,
not
did
favorites,
you
but
see that?
he's trying to play like Bayern Munich. This is the German national
Well,
team.
he
You got to
left.
play
He left
different.
Leroy Sané off the team. Leroy Sané came off the bench, and I think Leroy Sané showed his importance in that German team where he was finding those through balls behind the defense and just getting the opponent. I mean, I think Musiala had a one on one against Unai Simon, and um, he just kind of, instead of laying it off to Forkrog, which was, he was wide open, he just kind of took the shot, but Unai Simon made the save. But
And
yeah, I
bringing
think
back that, I think like who's impressed is the youngsters. All this tournament, I'm impressed with the younger
definitely.
generation. Even though, like, Yeah, Cristiano scored a penalty. Messi scored a hell of a goal. But you're kind of impressed with the youngsters, Musiala, Pedri, the Gavis. What they're actually been doing. It's kind of I'm kind of happy.
Yeah,
Seeing a
Musiala
lot of
definitely showed that this German team is his team. The way that he just like gets on the ball and like it's
he's the
quick,
first name on the team for
quick,
sure.
quick to take on the ball with the confidence that those youngster players should have. That I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna try it. Just taking on the defense, it was really amazing. I think he had a one-on-one against Jordi Alba that he just like kind of get or with Jordi Alba that just kind of skipped by him, but there was another chance with against Rodri that hold off Rodri and then he went into field and then he forced a foul from Busquets. That just shows that
I
like
think he had an earlier before they had scored, and then he was 1-on-1, and he kind of like. I think if he would have like curled it or tried something with it or passed it, I think yeah, if he would have passed it, they I'm gonna change the game because he just went with power
yeah,
against Messi 1,
yeah,
and I think he would have done that pass. I think we've been talking about a Germany win.
yeah. But everything's still left to play for the final game. All right, Group
But
F.
what I was saying about fucking Japan, you guys fucking cut me off and they can't talk about anything else. You literally cut me off with Turkey, Germany.
All right.
All
Like,
right,
what the
go
hell, dude?
go.
It's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Shut up.
All right, talk about Japan because I also want to talk about Japan.
Oh, no way. You really? I was just gonna say, it's good to see Japan trying to get out this group stage and succeeding because they are a team that loves football and a team and has a ginormous fan base all around the globe.
Really
And
respectful fans. Really respectful fans.
Germany, you just feel like they haven't been the same ever since losing their crucial pieces. I think I don't know. They're still in it, but it's gonna be hard. You gotta have to see.
Yeah, I
Kind of going back a little bit on that. Yeah, Kroos kind of like stepping back and say like, "Oh, I don't want to take the place from a player." But at the same time, if you're the best that Germany can offer, I don't know why you would take yourself out. I think Kroos would have been in that team.
And another thing that happened is a lot of the players aged like where they were older in that last 2014 World Cup. So like a lot of players left that during that era. So I think this is the start of their newer era of a team. So because there is older players, but there's the young players like Musiala, Fulkrug, who is 20, 27, 26, between those ages.
he's
That he's
20.
finally getting his
He's
chance. So
29
he's
by the
now
way.
finally getting his chance now.
Yeah,
You
Thomas
still get
Müller
it.
is
It's a mid age.
Thomas Müller is
So
gonna
it's
be their
fun.
new boss.
So now they're finally getting their chances because there has been Podolski, Klose, who have been in those positions, Mario Gomez. So now we're seeing a different Germany. It's not the same old Germany. This is a new Germany that we're gonna have to start treating like a new team because they're not the old dominant Germany. This is a different Germany.
And also going back on that Japan, I was listening a lot about like what was Japan missing, and then talking about how good Japan is. Like I think you had mentioned before how quick they are, how technical they are, how the speed, how they could dribble. They've had more players in Europe, all these things. And then somebody was talking about how like he loves Japan and the way they play, but the thing they miss is that them not being competitive enough. How nice they are, and that really got me. That to me, I was like, yeah, it's just like yeah, you have to be like some type of aggressive there, and they just don't. I just don't see it in most of them. Like some players that are playing in, they have. I think if they get that from playing in South American leagues or playing, in harder fought leagues, that they would kind of like they'd be like shocked that some players are trying to cheat and get away with some other stuff. And in Japan, they'd be like, oh, if they take it out, they're like, oh, I took it out. Or like if they didn't foul, they're like, oh, I fouled them actually. And they're not having that thing of like, kind of like, you know, being like, oh, I don't know what happened. I think yeah, he touched it, type of thing. Like you kind of have that type of football that it has. It's not to say that I want them to play dirty, but at least being competitive enough, they're gonna fight every ball, and they're not gonna, pick up their opponent after fouling them. And it's pretty gentleman that they do it. It's pretty awesome to see, but at the same time, it's that thing that it was really it got some that they don't have that people were saying that they're not competitive enough to take them over that edge to actually because right now like they're looking really good. and then I think they got fourth in 2002, right? So if they
Yeah,
could have even done even better, like what could have been in other World Cups.
yeah. I think Mourinho said it perfectly in that Spurs All or Nothing. That as players, you gotta be assholes on the pitch. You have to, you know, you gotta show that side of like that how Simeone liked to call it the dark arts of football. But yeah, I totally agree with what you guys are saying there. All right, Group F, we have Croatia, Morocco, Belgium, and Canada. Croatia sit with 4 points, equal to Morocco, and Belgium 3, and Canada with 0 points. I mean, I think above all, even though they're last of the group, I've been really impressed with this Canadian team. They've really been going at these teams that you thought these guys would just sit back and try to get draws out of these points. But I mean, the tenacity and the courage to at least try to play attacking football against these teams and not try to change their model of play has been really impressive. Um, Obviously, lost 4-1 against Croatia. Uh, Lost against Belgium 1-0, which I think Canada deserved at least a draw from that game. And then Morocco doing the upset and beating Belgium 2-0. Um, I don't know if Kevin De Bruyne's quotes about this Belgium team had anything to do with the squad, but definitely couldn't have helped it. And Croatia still up there with led by 38-year-old Modric. Still putting in those performances of the number 10 that we're used to from Modric, showing a masterclass. Um, and Morocco team that just with Ziyech and Hakimi just on that right side.
And Sayes, the guy who scored the center back, Sayes stepping up.
Yeah, it's just been really great team to have a really surprise out of the group. Um, I think I had Croatia and Belgium getting out of this group. Um, Still mathematically in there. Uh, Morocco against Canada. Um, you would Belgium needs Morocco to lose, and Belgium to at least get a win from this Croatian side, but very very unlikely that from what I've seen so far from Belgium to get it something from this Croatian team. But um, I'll go
Who do
with
you have
you.
coming out?
What happened?
Who do you have coming out?
Croatia and Croatia and Morocco, I think, are gonna come out of this group. I don't
Okay.
think. Well, I had Belgium coming out, but I don't think Belgium's gonna make it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
And let me just step in there right there. When you were talking about yeah, Belgium, you were saying like, oh yeah, the second an upset. It really didn't look like an upset, honestly. After watching their first game, they're getting dominated. And they just got lucky, really, with that goal. I think it wasn't much of an upset. I think that's how they play.
yeah,
Like there was never a change of guard. You have Hazard, who was, I think that are, I mean, you have De Bruyne that was really fundamental, but I think having Hazard going 1-on-1 and creating that play that he could seal the win, and then you could saw it when they were favorites or when they won number one, and they were number one for what 6 years, I think, or something like that.
yeah. It's been a
It was
while since
crazy, like
they've been up there.
having this and not doing any much of it, and that has to do with a little bit with some players not stepping up. I think Morocco has shown what they came here to do, play a World Cup, and Canada playing beautiful football, but at the same time not having that. And I think this effect, like this is why they went number one, is they having home advantage that they had in the Concacaf. Because them having home advantage really, like, because they were like they played some good football, but not enough to be like, wow, this is like they're above and beyond the U.S. and Mexico. Really, they just had that home advantage that they almost every other time got a win, and then when they went home, I mean, when they went away, they people weren't expecting a good Canada. They were just expecting them to just lie over for them. They're the big dogs of the CONCACAF, and it just wasn't what Canada was gonna do because they wanted to go to the World Cup, especially the World Cup being in the U.S. and Canada and Mexico in 4 years' time.
Yeah, it was. Um, Jordan, your thoughts on this group, and maybe if you
Um,
could expand on this Croatian team.
well, I feel bad with my perspective now about this. I had Belgium and Canada going through, and you feel like they had so much hype to go towards these teams because they have proven themselves in the qualifying stages. But it just feels like Belgium's coaching or something is just out of whack because they've really been disappointing. Canada, you saw they played against Croatia and they dominated Belgium playing that way. So you start wondering, like, what is going on with Belgium? Is it a defensive thing? Is it a attacking thing? Is it like a mentality? So I felt very disappointed by both of them. Canada, you feel bad because if they would have scored that one goal against Belgium, would we be seeing a different Canada this next game? Would we have seen them attack Croatia more? Would we have seen them do stuff, different tactics? We'll never know now. But Croatia, I had them as my disappointment because I felt Mandzukic was going to be a big issue for them, and Kramaric had an amazing second game, scoring 2 goals. You always wondered if they would survive against without Mandzukic, and Kramaric stepped up. Their team have a lot of depth, although you may not know their names. They have a lot of great players. Again, like you say, Modric. It's you understand why he won the Ballon d'Or, and just I want to make my changes to have Croatia get through as a one. And before I say my two, Morocco has been playing amazing. They're the one of the African teams that are really stepped up and showed that they could do it. And I think I'm picking them as my second to go through because they impressed against Belgium.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's gonna be difficult for this Canadian team to go against that Morocco side from what we've seen so far. Um, a draw and a win. They have not lost so far in this group, and that just shows to you know the 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 kind of quality they have in those players. From their star players in that team. Um, on to Group G: Brazil, Switzerland, Cameroon, and Serbia. Um, mean, wow, what a performance from Brazil! If I mean, I don't know. I don't think you could start a tournament better than maybe Spain did, but Brazil against a pretty good Serbian side were able to show their quality. There was a little bit of nervousness in the beginning match, and I think that's just from the excitement of what the World Cup does for the players, where it was a little bit of panic. But once the game settled down, it was just Brazil for 90 minutes, um, and it was absolutely their style of football is just so direct, just so attacking that you just love to watch. Um, it joga bonito from Brazilian. So what can you say? That absolute amazing goal from Richarlison just was a screamer. I know I was watching it with my brother-in-law, and he too was like he doesn't watch soccer. I mean, a football like that, but he was jumping off the seat as well, just reacting to that goal. Um, you can see why Brazil is a contender for this team. Switzerland did what he had to do against a very disappointing Cameroon side. Um, Brazil and Switzerland tied with three points each, and Cameroon and Serbia with zero. Um, Jordan, what do you think about this Brazilian team?
Settialla Brazil
Shout out
pentacampeón.
Brazil. Obviously, they were the favorites going into that game. I feel like they're always the favorites because they are. They do have 5 stars on their shirts, and they do have that caliber of players every 4 years. Richarlison, kind of a surprise that he was the one making the goals because you would expect Vinicius to be the one. that would score the goals, or Neymar. And tough to see Neymar get hurt, possibly missing the next two group stage matches, right?
Yeah, he's set to miss the rest of the group stage. He won't be available until the knockout stage.
So we're seeing that Brazil. Let's see if they could make it through. They are stacked on every level. Even if you say, "Oh, this player's not that good," or he's good, but Switzerland and Bolo, young talent who never really got picked up by a big team, but has always been a player that you're wondering why does no one sign him. Scored against his native land, didn't celebrate, which is a very respectful thing to do. And I picked both of them to go through, and I feel like they are on their way to go to make it.
Wait, who? Who did you pick?
Brazil and Switzerland.
For Brazil and Switzerland.
You muted.
Do you want to, Junior? Do you want to elaborate on this Brazilian side?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting, like you said, Richarlison to be like to him having two goals or him being the goal scorer of this Brazil team. Like you said, you would expect that from Brazil, from Neymar or Vinicius. But I'm kind of glad because I think that takes a weight off of Neymar and he could actually do what Neymar does. So, but him being out is gonna be tough for them.
How do you see this Brazilian side lining up without Neymar in that team?
I think Rodri goes in.
Rodrigo.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I think I don't know why he hasn't. I would use Gabriel Jesus in some form. I think he could play from the right. If I remember correctly, they automatically think they put him over there. I don't know if he wants to do that, but I think I'd rather have Rodrigo coming in on the right and having that speed. And then if you need Gabriel Jesus to come in or Pedro, their best player probably in that team,
stupid.
right after Neymar Jr.
Yeah, I was honestly I was surprised. I was worried because with Lucas Paqueta and Casemiro working as a pivot, I know Lucas Paqueta usually plays as a number 10, and I didn't know what what kind of defensive duties he was able to bring to that midfielder. But my God, he was all over the pitch. You seen him running and sliding in for tackles and defending really good and just being very tenacious. I think when he got substituted, it was mostly because that dude was just tired from running, it, and he wanted to bring in fresher legs in that midfielder. But yeah, I was thinking of maybe putting Lucas Paqueta as the number 10 and then bringing someone like Fred to play along Casemiro. But um, yeah, Rodrigo did come on for Neymar at the end, and
Yeah, I think
I
he's
feel
gonna keep it.
that's what Tite prefers them as a number 10. But
Yeah, and you could also bring in Anthony, who is a skiller.
yeah, yeah. Well, he did have that one shot that came off the bar that was really close. That you just
Yep.
thought that was gonna go in, from cutting in from that right to the middle, to the center.
A
But
la like Robin.
yeah. Well, the next game for this Brazilian side is against Switzerland, so they'll be the top two for the of the group so far. Any predictions for this game?
Brazil, Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Brazil winning not comfortably, but enough that they get the job done. I
Uh,
think it'll be a 2-0 again. I think they'll keep their clean sheet again.
Jordan, your prediction?
We have to see how they line up, how Switzerland plays them too, because they do have players that they do have like a tough style of play, not like the South American style, but like an Eastern European type of football where they do tackles. And I could see this game going 2-1 or even 1-1. I could see this being a standout game for Brazil, like it was against Saudi Arabia, where you're like, oh, maybe we think we're we're playing down to them to a level, or maybe we didn't expect this. But I could see Switzerland winning this.
Alrighty, and then do you have anything else you guys want to add about the Cameroon, and
Like they've been disappointing.
Cameroon and Serbian sides?
They've been disappointing. Like and Serbia as well. I thought that Serbia was gonna give a better fight. I have, but I mean, there's still 2 games up, so I'm still hopeful that they could get a win over Cameroon, and then coming out of the group with Brazil. So they do have Dusan, the Juventus forward. I think he'll hopefully get some goals in
Yeah.
for this team.
Alrighty, up next to our last group: Portugal, South Korea, Uruguay, and Ghana. And let me just tell you, if you didn't watch that Portugal Ghana game, you missed out on a great game. That game was really entertaining. I mean, from start to finish, both teams were. Ghana side were looking just to counterattack on the team, and they did it effectively with their players up top. Um, Inaki had that kind of a blooper at the end where he got it from behind, but wasn't able to stay on his feet and finish that off. But Portugal were, I believe, were 2-0 up or 2-1 up, or and they thought they were already
I think
comfortable.
they were 3-1. Yeah, they were 3-1.
Yeah, they were 3-1, and they made all their substitutions, bringing off Cristiano, you know, giving them those their big player names some rest because they thought they wrapped it up, and then Ghana scored their second, and I mean for the most part it looked like like Ghana were the bigger team, just going for that winner
Yeah,
at the end.
I think that was a little bit of Ghana's fault as well. Like them also taking off Andre Yewu out.
Yeah,
I feel like he should have
that's
stayed on the field.
that's when that second
He
goal
is,
came in, and
yeah, I
if
think he should have stayed on the field because he would have got you that other goal. Maybe I think it was gonna be another 3-3.
the
They got, I think,
the Ghanaian player bringing out the Sioux celebration for Cristiano, uh, the camera panning out to Cristiano and him being just annoyed about it. Um,
yeah, that was. I mean, that was spot on. If somebody was doing my celebration, I'd be like, this guy.
Yeah, I don't know if he was mad about the celebration. I think he was mad that they let the goal in.
Well, yeah, he was
Because I
mad
think
about.
they got the reaction quick. Because it didn't make sense that they got it that quick. So I think he was more mad at that. But that obviously, it nerves you a little bit. You're like, why'd you do that? Like, that's my celebration. Why you did it against me?
yeah, and then
Well, I think it's more now. Yeah, that's that mocking. He's mocking him.
yeah,
That's how I would have seen if somebody's doing that celebration.
yeah, which is always fun to see in football. Just
Yeah, a little
that
beef
l-
doesn't hurt anybody.
a little trash talking. And then Korea and South Korea and Uruguay both drawing. Uruguay was just very good defensively. I think you've seen the tackle from Valverde to stop the counterattack, and he celebrated like a goal. I mean, that's just
That's
what
what I'd love to see. What I'd
that's
love to see.
that's just
If he wasn't a Real Madrid player, I would give him more praise. But that's
yeah. He really good defensively, and that's the garra charrua for them. That's what that means for them. And I think it just to represent their country. They do a really good job out there.
yeah, it's
So
one of those not even like players, but one of those teams like they go all out for their country.
yeah,
Like you can see it in every tackle, and every run, and every ball header. They just go all out for that country, and it's not even for that also that country, but also for the manager and what it represents to you know
to them all.
for them. Yeah,
So Portugal, uh, group leaders with 3, South Korea and Uruguay with 1, and Ghana with 0. Um, what do you got for your predictions, Junior?
I had Portugal and Uruguay, but mm, yeah, I'm sticking with it actually. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
Jordan.
I have Portugal and Uruguay too. But like you said, that draw was, at the end of the day, it's a big deal because it puts them ahead of Ghana. who played an amazing game against Portugal, who now puts them in a better position to play against Ghana because now you know Ghana's going to have to attack you. So it kind of puts the team in a better position to maybe we could counterattack them, maybe we could do this, now maybe we could play this way. So I think I still have Uruguay going forward. They do play tomorrow, so we'll have to see what goes on.
Yeah,
But it's
probably
exciting.
probably one of the things that we have that we should bring up is one of the biggest beef between Luis Suarez and the Ghana nation. You know, this Ghana team will face against Luis Suarez, and they'll all want the revenge from the 2010 World Cup. I
I
think
think
that
you start him to rile them up, or bringing him
No,
like late
you
on.
got to bring him in at like the 80th minute, and he'll score a goal definitely because Luis Suarez is a killer. And I don't care what people say. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. You would have done that if your team was there. If you were in that position, you would have put your hand to. If imagine you're playing for USA, you're gonna make it, and you would do the same. Maybe try to header it, but I don't blame him for doing that. Ghana's definitely gonna want vengeance. Luis Suarez is not the same, so we'll have to see what happens there.
yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting game of the Ghana perspective of how they.
Are you in a spaceship? What's going?
I'm just getting comfortable. That's all.
Barely.
If gonna see how that game plays out, but definitely an interesting game. And then,
Yeah,
uh,
another thing I wanted to add about the Korea team, the same with Japan. They kind of like they're two gentlemen. Like I said, like if they had that thing, like they might have pulled off an upset on Uruguay.
yeah,
So that's
definitely.
the thing that puts them over the
But I
back.
think the difference between Japan and Korea is Korea really has they play very well, and they do have that one star that helps them, which is Human Son, and they do have a great striker who plays with Red Bull Leipzig. So they do have those star players, and they did get a draw against Uruguay, who's a tough team defensively. So you do see them maybe getting out of the group stages, but you do want them to be more fierce, maybe have more of a, like Mourinho said, more of a asshole in them. But they are. I think they're changing. I think they're changing towards that.
I still don't see it. They're better, like they're player. That I mean, if someone doesn't know, like they'll be seeing like, oh, South Korea, this and that. But once you see them play, and where they play, it's not easy playing in the German league. Which a lot of
They're
them
not
are.
just BTS. They're a good football team.
Yeah, it's not like yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's exciting for. I would be excited for, but me as if I was a South Korea fan, I would be excited for what
They
this
do
team.
have a lot of players in the top leagues in Europe, so they do have a talented roster, the same as Japan. I think they have a lot of their players go to play in the Bundesliga, which is a tough league.
How old is
But
Son? You said 29.
Kim In Sung,
He's 30.
Oh, he's 30. Ooh. I was gonna say I don't know if I hope he makes it to the next World Cup so he leads that team, kind of that that last hoorah to last World Cup and try to get the younger team.
hopefully, because players are playing older now.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like if he's leading that line with the younger, probably a younger team and more experienced team, then South Korea could be a big problem. I'm not saying like they're already eliminated, but it's just exciting for like these other countries.
Maybe play like his idol as Ronaldo as a striker. Maybe switch from left winger to striker. Maybe.
But especially there being more teams than the next World Cup, because we also have to talk about that. 48 teams, I think, is what it is, right?
I think it was 42. 42 teams.
I mean, whatever it is, I think that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna
So
be.
yeah, so they'll definitely be there. Just exciting for them. I'm excited for most of these teams that are here, even though Ghana lost. They're still it's very good football that they're playing. It's probably like if I were to say what group is exciting to watch all their games, is probably this group. They're all kind of like no one's actually disappointing in some sense. They're all
Yeah,
playing to their strength and they're all trying, which you that's what you want to see. But so yeah,
yeah, definitely a group that's I would said Group H and Group G have not played their second match week, so they'll be played tomorrow. Um, so far really good, promising. Um, I was gonna say Ronaldo against Ronaldo tomorrow for that Portugal versus Korea game. Um, all right, so just so we could go over your guys' predictions. I don't know if you guys would have it up. Over your dark horse winner, your dark horse predictions.
Yeah, I don't remember my dark horse. I think I had. Let me just.
Oh, my dark horse was Wales. Obviously, they're biting me in the butt.
Oh, I think I had Netherlands as my dark horse. I think I
Yeah,
did.
I think you did.
Yeah, because you know.
Yeah.
We're still there.
I had Denmark. I'm gonna stick with Denmark. I think they might have had a slow start, but I think they'll once the actual tournament knockout phase begins, I think they'll get into a group and start showing us what they
Yeah.
can really do. Um, the disappointment, I fucking was way off on this
Yeah,
one.
what you wish.
I had a disappointment as France, and they just shown that.
I think then we all agree on France that it was gonna be like. Oh no, I think I had Mexico, right? Yeah. And so
Yeah,
far, I mean,
yeah, you're pretty right on there. Uh,
and it was all like how. First of all, not taking Santi, that was a big. I think that was.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan, do you remember
My
who you had?
disappointment was Croatia, just because I felt Mandzukic was going to be a big problem. They
Yeah,
proved me wrong in their second game. The first game, you could still see how maybe that is going to be an issue, but they did stand out. And I don't want to change my disappointment. I want to sit on this because it was a mistake of me, and I want to be reminded of that mistake. So I don't want to change it.
Life lesson.
No,
Are
it's
you
just
changing
because
yours?
I can't change it now. I can't think of who would disappoint me from this point on.
Well, I mean, no, but who's disappointed you from at this stage? I
Well,
mean,
it's obvious people who aren't performing like Belgium. That's a disappointment for sure.
yeah. So, has anybody disappointed you, Kevin?
um, just looking
They
off the
all played all
ju-
right.
just looking off the teams real quick here.
They all played how I expected. Guys, like,
No, I think so far, maybe the well we could say Belgium from what the names they have available and what they have been doing in the tournament. Probably the disappointment so far. Um, you just feel like every year they're the dark horse. People keep talking about this Belgium team, this Belgium team, but they have a very aging squad and just the names that you said, De Bruyne, Hazard, their defense, Alderweireld and Vertonghen getting up, very old defense already. Uh, Thibaut Courtois, you've seen the mistake he made for that first goal for Morocco, really unlike himself. So I
Which
just
is
think,
surprising because that's usually who keeps him in the games.
yeah, really surprising.
Or two.
So I just think that Belgium would be my disappointment so far. All right, we're gonna tie the Golden Boot and Golden Glove together just so we get a little bit ahead on time. But I had Cristiano Ronaldo and Emiliano Martinez for my Golden Boot and Golden Glove winners, respectively. Um, Emiliano Martinez still in there. I mean, he only had 2 goals on there, but uh, you probably can say that a lot of the other teams are going to concede. Held a clean sheet against Mexico, which was really important. Ronaldo has one goal, which has him tied with Leao and João Felix for just the number. I had it here. Let me look. Tied with a 14th place, so he anything can happen at this point. uh, Jordan, what are your picks?
I had Courtois, which looking now, you're like, why did you do what you did last World Cup? But I don't know if I'm gonna change it. I'm just leave it because that was a mistake by me. I have Martinez for Argentina, who maybe you still have the third game in the group stage. Maybe you can still I'm still keeping him in, and that's it.
Uh, Junior?
but it's more like not changing it. It's just like who's like. I mean, now who do you think is who's actually has a better talent?
All right,
Is that,
count me in again, Junior.
Go ahead, Junior. Your picks.
but I was saying that I have Diego Martinez as well. I still think he'll beat Golden Glove because I think they'll still reach the final, and he's been fundamental to the Argentina team. And then my goal scorer, Mbappe. I think
Yeah.
he has
3 goals.
two, 3 goals. So
Yeah,
far
three.
so good. I was gonna say I'm impressed with the Netherlands goalkeeper. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
this has been his first cap for the national team.
yeah,
They're pretty good against that. It's not like he had a fundamental saves, but you still have to be,
Yeah, and
not,
Louis van Gaal played two different goalies in both games, which was very weird.
that's what he does.
that's what Louis Van
And I
Gaal
don't know.
does. That
Yeah,
nobody
don't
knows
care.
what exactly he's doing, but
I mean,
hey,
he probably has a system in his head, and he's just like, who play? Like, he's one of those old school managers. He sees like who's actually doing good in training, like who's up for it. So I feel like that there's some managers kind of missing. So I feel like it's still that old guard that's still there. He's one of the last few old guard that's still there, and I appreciate what he. I mean, hopefully he leaves some knowledge for whoever is gonna be taking over for the Netherlands team.
Coleman.
Oh yeah, it's Coleman. Yeah,
oh
no, don't get me started on that one. But all right. I mean, hopefully they do better
yeah.
or keep continuing
Um,
this work they've done.
and then our last prediction was our predicted final and our eventual winner. I had Argentina Portugal in the final, and Argentina ended up winning them. They did stumble, but I still think Argentina will make the final. I still think they will win this World Cup. Um, you know, 2010. If 2010 Spain could do it, I don't see why this Argentina team can do it with such a talented starting 11 and a squad. They have the depth in there. You just seen it. Enzo Fernandez coming on and just scoring that banger against Mexico. So they do have the quality, and they do have the leadership in Lionel Messi to make that final and win it. Your guys' predictions?
Just to add to that, like you saw him coming up big for his country. They needed that goal, and then like Enzo Fernandez like kind of sealed it, but Messi getting that goal was really important.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, yeah, it was France against Argentina. I still think that's gonna be the final. I think they'll one of them is gonna kill another of the giants, Germany, Spain's, um, was it on England.
Yeah.
So I think the easier road will be for Argentina. I think they'll not have that much competition until the semifinals. So that could really play into them going into the final.
Yeah.
Like looking at the group, what it looks like now, or like who's winning the groups.
Yeah. Jordan, your picks.
I had Argentina against Germany, but after seeing Germany's struggles in the group against Spain, who is a very talented team, and Japan, who should have, as we've seen it coming into the World Cup, been an easier game, I think I'm seeing Argentina versus Brazil. Although Brazil has been dominant in the first game, Argentina stumbled and then they recovered, like Junior said. But you see that maybe it is like a destiny thing that both of the giants in South America are gonna have the rematch from the Copa America. Hopefully, but that's my prediction, and I still think Argentina will win it.
Alrighty. Well, that leaves off our. That's the end of our episode. We have match date tomorrow. Let me look up real quick unless you guys can do it of who's playing tomorrow. Let's see real quick. So Cameroon, Serbia, South Korea, Ghana, Brazil, Switzerland, and Portugal, Uruguay. The Brazil and Portugal games are gonna be the ones that I'm gonna be looking out for, and hopefully be able to watch. But I'll try to wake up tomorrow to see those Cameroon side and South Korean side. Um, so far, very very exciting, very interesting World Cup. A lot of teams really going out for there and attacking and not just trying to sit back and try to get teams on the counterattack.
Also, a very tense World Cup because there has been a lot of 0-0 draws, so there is a lot of tension.
Yeah, a lot of teams not trying to lose and trying to just get out for that win, but really enjoying our stuff from so far. Um, Jordan, anything else you want to left to say?
I just want to say that the best is yet to come because these deciding matches is the real deal. It's gonna really show who are these teams.
Yeah,
Because you have these two games, you could stumble in the first, you recover in the second, but what are you gonna do now? What is gonna be the future? How are you gonna attack this? Because now you know what you need to do. Now you know how you're gonna qualify, what you need, who you need to win. So now we're gonna see who are the real players, who are the real teams, and hopefully they just continue playing amazing football.
Yeah, we're gonna see who the real gangsters of this tournament are. Who the real bosses.
yeah. Usually, once the knockout stages, that's when the tournament really heats up, and all
I
the
mean, that's for anything,
the
really.
sense. Yeah. Um, Thank you for watching us. This has been the second episode. Please hit the like button and subscribe for our podcast. You know,
You wanna cut that out?
no, I'm gonna leave it on there. I don't care. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Yeah, hit.
So
You wanna
next
say?
time we do a little bit of time wasting.
Do you wanna say the catchphrase, Junior, that I said last episode?
No.
What was the
You wanna
catchphrase?
say?
I like it, by the way.
If you listen up to here, you must be a real dummy.
I think you're the only one who's gonna be saying it. I'm not gonna be.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be saying it,
Yeah, we're
but
the real dummies.
yeah, please like and subscribe. So you can get notified when we upload, and you can keep, you know, getting our takes from this World Cup and our analysis. All right, from Jordan Jr. and me, that'll be all, folks. Thanks for watching.